All right. Welcome, beautiful ladies. I am so happy to have you here. Lilja from Iceland and Amanda from the UK. And just few things to introduce you. Otherwise, I would love to that you just introduce yourselves. You tell about who you are, or who are we really? But you know what I mean, and your mission in life, and what your focus, and so on, how you perceive life right now. So Amanda and I found each other online, which is really amazing, about 2 years ago, and we've been in touch, we've visited, and so on. She lives in Italy, or half. And Lilja, I think if I remember correctly, the first time it was through the oils and through a workshop in Iceland. And since then we've also been in touch, and I adore the oils as well. So this is just a very, very brief introduction. Who wants to start?
Solrún, I just want to say, because there's like a little bit of a noise, are you touching the computer or like the...
It's good that you say this, because...
Like the microphone, yeah.
Yes. Is the microphone okay now?
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Good.
It was just a little rustling, maybe.
Okay. Because I asked about this last time and they didn't say anything, so I haven't been aware of it. So I've just, it could be. All right. Is it okay now?
Yeah. No, it's not. No, it's good.
Okay. I'll be very, very still.
I can start.
Okay.
Since I already started. So I live in Iceland, and I was a kindergarten teacher before. I had a little bit of a broken childhood. My mother left me when I was really small. She got really sick after I was born, like with depression. And I was the youngest of 6 children in a farm. And this kind of became my lesson and my gift in this life. And I think that it made me unusually independent and demanded something from me, and I feel it was really connecting to nature. I really connected to nature unknowingly, and all my family became this crazy organic. Sometimes I say I'm the crazy organic. I'm the crazy organic. Lilja lífræna. But then I, after having worked in a kindergarten and being really unhappy, I had 3 children, a good husband, but I was really unhappy and dissatisfied, and I started to have hot flashes when I was 37 years old. And that was really a sign to me. I didn't know it then that it was a sign of unhappiness, really. Nothing, not being in balance, really. And soon after this started, I found a course in natural medicine, herbal medicine, natural medicine, and iridology. Actually, I thought it was about the aura, and I was so excited. I thought I was going to study something about the aura, but it was the iris of the eye. So I studied natural medicine, and through the natural medicine, I learned about the oils. And before that, I worked in a Steiner kindergarten. So Rudolf Steiner, the Waldorf, like hit home with me. It was the natural way of bringing up children, and I could really see how strong my passion for nature, and like I've never ever thrown away like any garbage from my kitchen. Never ever have I thrown it away. For me, this is like gold. So I use it to make soil to put in my garden. And also, like, I think 30 years ago or more, I was like, I couldn't throw away paper. I was like, this is wood. This is, we're cutting down the wood. So you see what I'm getting, where I am, like the crazy, the crazy being, this connection to nature. So I had a school in natural medicine in Iceland for 12 years. And at the same time, I was working with the Young Living Company, and the essential oils, which is just something that creates, well, they are the being by themselves, but they are just a part of products to make them really, really good. So now I've been talking for a very long time. This is a very long introduction. So yeah, the quality products, the essential oils being the bridge between heaven and earth, is the perfect thing for me.
Thank you. It's very good also to hear where you're coming from and how you came to the oil. So thank you. It was a very good introduction. Thank you, Lilja. Amanda, the amazing astrologist.
Yes. So I'm Amanda Bradbury, and I'm an astrologer and a colour therapist. I also began in education, funnily enough, and I worked, my first job was in a school, but it was an independent school in the UK, in London, called the Merlin School. So it's quite an interesting name. I actually loved that job because I had so much freedom and flexibility, and I ended up being a storyteller in the attic, and also it was called being a dance teacher, but really it was a mixture of yoga and visualization and counseling and free expression, and so it was a little bit like I kind of created my own teaching there. I really had a lot of freedom. So I did that job until I was about 29. And from that time, I've actually been working independently, freelance, as an astrologer. So I've been working with astrology for a very long time, always maybe combining it with other things and other ways of earning an income. But so I very much identify with this time where we're having to step into our own power and in a way step out of the system, because I actually stepped out of the system really, you know, I'll have to work out how many years it is, but, you know, maybe kind of almost 30 years ago. So it kind of comes quite naturally to me. So I combine astrology with colour. And I work with this wonderful system called Colour Mirrors from South Africa, made by a lady who lives in South Africa. And maybe in a while we can talk a little bit more about that. But it's a really wonderful combination to combine the astrology and the colour. And right now we are in a really key time astrologically. It's very powerful, I feel, you know, so it really is a time to really look after ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Amanda. I'm just, my curiosity popped up when you said, I stepped out of the system 30 years ago. How did you do that? I mean, what were the first steps in stepping out? Just curious.
Well, really what I mean is I've been self-employed. That's all I mean, is that I've been self-employed rather than being employed by someone else where you maybe have to conform to what it is that they're asking of you or wanting of you. So yes, I know there's lots of other steps to take in terms of stepping out of the system. So
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shall I tell you a little bit about the current astrology?
Absolutely, that would be great. I'm very interested because you know, just the sensitivity of you know, the collective energy. I've been feeling that lately, since the eclipse happened on the 30th of April, of course, we've been going and moving through, you know, ups and downs and collective heaviness and so on every now and then, and you can feel it now if you watch the Schumann resonance also, and you know that people are talking about heaviness and something extraordinary actually going on, especially now lately in May. Is this correct, Amanda? And the eclipse coming up is also going to be something extraordinary. So I'm very curious to hear your take on.
Yes. Well, we had the solar eclipse on the 30th was in Taurus, and that's really calling us to be grounded, you know, to be very practical, to come back into our bodies, to perhaps bring the energy back from out there into just taking care of ourselves and our day-to-day lives, and maybe looking at our, you know, financial setup and how do we earn money and how can this be improved, and it's almost like taking things step by step. So that was the invitation of the Taurus energy. But the challenge of this particular solar eclipse that we had on the 30th was that it was conjunct Uranus. So Uranus is moving through Taurus quite slowly. And this, in some ways, it's a bit like it's destabilizing a bit. You know, it's like it's bringing in huge change in the area of values and you know, what we value in life. And so maybe actually the invitation is to ask people to think, could we be living our lives in a different way? Could we? So with Taurus, for example, the perhaps lower expression of it is more materialism, or I have to earn this much income, you know, to be able to live well. Whereas we could look at it that the higher expression of Taurus is being connected to nature, you know, connecting with the earth, nurturing ourselves. And so it's always about, with astrology, it's always about taking the energy higher and looking for the higher expression of it. And then yesterday we had a very big transition because Jupiter moved into Aries. And this is actually a little bit of a relief, I feel, because I've been hearing from quite a lot of people really that, and in fact, I think you use this expression yourself, Soren, but there's almost been like this kind of very watery energy, almost a bit kind of waterlogged, you know, almost like some confusion. It's almost like people's heart is in the right place, but yes, how can we make this happen? How can we ground this? And maybe people are quite tired as well, so that, you know, the Pisces energy can almost like drain you or take energy away from you. So now we have Jupiter in Aries. It's brand new in Aries, and it's a 12-year cycle. So it's a really big thing that it moved in yesterday, and it's the very first degree of the zodiac. So this is like a big burst of energy, and it's very enthusiastic. It's fired up, and it's really like kind of igniting our inner flame. And, you know, maybe reconnecting with, you know, what are we passionate about? What did we love to do? What have we not done for a while? And, you know, could we do again? So it has a very dynamic quality to it. It's very exciting. And then we have the eclipse coming up on the 16th of May. It's sort of Sunday night, Monday morning. And this is a lunar eclipse. And it's very, very strong for quite a few different reasons. One is because it's a full moon, as is always the case with a lunar eclipse. Then it's an eclipse. Then it's also what's called a south node eclipse. So it's about connecting back to the past. So it can be about working personally, maybe karmically, maybe with family patterns, genetic patterns, but also on a collective level. It's about looking at, what have we set in motion? Where did this begin? How can we live differently? So there's a sort of reckoning energy coming in. And then the other thing that makes it very strong is the moon will be in Scorpio, at quite a sort of significant part of the zodiac, just towards the end of Scorpio. So, as you both will know, it's very feeling, it's very watery, very emotional. It can bring up some stuckness. So there could be some sort of rigidity as well, and people being asked to change how they do things. It could bring up some grief as well, like strong feelings and intense feelings that could take us by surprise. Although Scorpio is also the sign of empowerment, and I know that's one of our themes for our discussion today, is thinking about empowerment. And so if you look at it in a way expressed on its highest level, it's about, how can you empower yourself? How can you claim back the power that you may have given away? How can you respond differently to people when you may have responded like this in the past? And Saturn is making challenging square aspects to the lunar nodes as well. And this is about commitment, actually. And it's a little bit like, well, what have you committed to do? Why are you here? What is your purpose in being here? And so it's almost like kind of seizing the moment and kind of stepping into, it's a rebirth as well with the Scorpio energy. So it's big.
Wow. This is huge because it touches many aspects. I was just thinking, I will come back to the agreements and the commitments, because I think this is so important for humanity, is to exactly, can you hear me?
The thing is starting again, the frigidity.
Is it now? Is it okay?
Okay, yeah.
Okay. No, what you're saying is, what do we commit to? What do we say yes to? How is the agreement we have made in the past not serving us today? Why did we say yes to something that we are not really passionate about, and is really maybe the pleaser in us saying yes, or maybe we say just yes, but then we don't commit? Or is it a passion? Yes, I want to do this, and then I commit to it. So all of these things is to do it with a full heart, not half-heartedly, and then throw out the stuff that doesn't serve us anymore. Is what I understood you're saying also. And going through with the Scorpio, I feel I have some Scorpio in my horoscope, and I know, here the Scorpio is coming out. But I also feel the Jupiter. I have a lot of, if we take it to a personal horoscope, sometimes a horoscope, the Jupiter, have a lot of Jupiter in my horoscope, and I can feel the expansion now. I feel there is a huge change coming. So it's really registers with what you're saying.
Yes.
But also, I wanted to maybe ask you, Lilja, to connect, because what you said, Amanda, about our values and what we prioritize in our life, and maybe staying stuck in our old habits and just sort of in the wheel. And I think this is my feeling, that nothing is going to be normal again ever. Some people think they can, after this crazy 2 years, that they can go back to the things the way they were. But I definitely think we need to rethink our ways in every way. And I know, Lilja, you have so much to, so many great ideas how to connect better to nature, how to, change your habits.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm also in the pit. I'm also in the pit of not knowing, but I think I really have seen, or like not seen. I just hit patterns that I have, like behavioral pattern that I have been stuck in, and they are now being revealed. Like I'm seeing, I've always been very, very flowing, and I love freedom and love having my time freedom, but and not being organized, but somehow I managed to do things, but I could really see that it was a really negative pattern in my family, like not to plan, not to organize, and yeah, things like that. And I had a little bit of a struggle, not hating myself, not like really hating myself for seeing like how this was running my life, and not yeah, that I wasn't using my time like as good as I could. But I'm just talking to myself now, like, okay, it's okay, just just look at this, and all like from the day that I discovered this, because it was a big discovery, like a lot of little things have changed. Like there's a change in the pattern, like this pattern has moved away. But it's just not like I'm not like this. I will never be the super organized person. It's not me. So I'm finding the balance of like loving the flow and being organized enough so I can get things going. Anyway, this was a huge thing. I think it comes with the energies, and the thing with the me feeling so lost and betrayed by the world is also like getting a lot better. And when I'm thinking about the values, and I was even like, when I was using the toilet paper, it's like I was thinking about like we are so spoiled. We are so spoiled. We live in a world where we have like everything. We have so much, and we are so we take it for granted. We take this like these crazy things for granted, like, and a lot of it is so much waste. It's so much taking from the earth resources and not giving back. So this is where my like how I see the world needs to shift. We need to start to value these things, the things that we take from Mother Nature, really. And people are just like all the plastic things that come from one home. Like it's just so difficult to avoid it. All the all the things. And yeah, so I have just been going back to planting, and I think that is so important that people start to do a little bit with the real things.
Yes, it's very important point that you bring, to take things for granted, and then just move and move and move, and you know, all the digital, the iPhones, and I was just thinking back a few years ago, I didn't have a phone, and and how my life has changed since I got just one little phone, in taking my attention away from other things that I used to be doing more of.
Exactly.
But also moving back into nature. I know you have a land, you're growing vegetables, and you have a little garden with green vegetables all year round almost. And how you work also with the oils, how you connect it also, because I know that when I started using your oils, and after a month of constant use, I could feel a really, really big change in my vibration completely. So, and you use it with how you prepare food, with everything. Can you tell us just a little bit about that?
I can tell you a little bit about well, yeah, I can I can tell you a little story that I tell new beginners, because the statistics tell us that every person comes in contact with like 300 chemicals on a daily basis, and 80 of them before breakfast, just by bathing and brushing the teeth and the things you put on your skin or whatever. And I was thinking, okay, so how many oils am I using before breakfast? And I started to count them, and they actually were like 80 oils.
Wow!
All the blends I was using in my shampoo and everything, and to exchange 680 chemicals for something that is both well, they work on so many levels, like a cleansing for your body. They work like micro enzymes. They work like micro hormones. They are uplifting. They connect you to the higher world. They are protecting. So they in all of this, they do without you asking them. They just are in your shampoo, like in all of this, in your food. I of course use them like a lot, and for cleaning, and in the food, in food making, just as a taste. They can be used like taste, but they also have the extra effect.
Yes. You know, just I have one, if something in my stomach is not quite right, I have the DJs, one drop on my tongue, and it usually goes away. But it's a very interesting thing. I think a lot of people are not so tuned into how many chemicals they use every day. And of course, the plastic, everything is wrapped in plastic. And so When I went to Germany, I always say Germans are quite a bit ahead of many countries
Yeah, exactly.
with their ways. Each being would bring a basket instead of plastic, or bags made of stuff to when they went shopping and so on, and a lot of it is organic and has been for many years, and the water that you buy is in glass, not in plastic bottles and stuff like this. So yeah, but how, I mean, I know also, I would like to, Amanda, your color bottles are also filled with essential oils. How do you use them?
Well, yes, they have essential oils in. I'm going to show you this one. This is the Jupiter bottle, which I've started working with. So they have oil in, and then food coloring, and the oils are like a blend of essential oils, but they're made by a lady in South Africa. It's a system called Color Mirrors, and the way that you can work with them, I use them in the consultations that I do. Actually, I invite people to from a website to choose the ones that draw their attention. And then it's really interesting because you can look at the sort of interconnections between what it is that they've chosen and their birth chart, and there will always be connections. It will always make sense. And often there's a bit of a journey, you know, you can almost kind of look at the journey that you read the bottles, and you can look at the journey that someone is making. And so I use them in that way in a consultation, and also in teaching as well. So I did, you know, in a workshop, for example, you would invite people to choose bottles, and it brings consciousness shifts and insight and information, and the system connects to astrology and also to numerology as well. So it's a bit like we're kind of combining all these ancient systems of knowledge. It's like esoteric knowledge, really. But you can also use the bottles in a very physical way, in that you can meditate holding them, you can put them on the body, you can bath in them. What else? So, you know, some people sunbathe in them. You know, you can rub them on your body and you know, lie in the sun, or perhaps having a reflexology treatment as well. You can put them on your feet. So it's been a wonderful system to incorporate with my astrology, because astrology is quite, it's very specific. You know, it gives like almost like a life path, if you like. You know, this is someone's purpose in this lifetime. This is their gifts. This is what may challenge them. This is maybe some of the issues that came up in their childhood. This is what challenges them in relationships. But the color shows where someone is right now. You know, today they walk in the door, this is what they choose, this is what's up for them. So it's very different to the astrology. I mean, that can do that as well, but the color is very spontaneous. Also, you can use them in a consultation. So there are these spritzers, and I will spray those in a consultation, and people feel the shifts. You know, sensitive people will say, wow, you know, I felt that. And so the spritzers, there are elements which connect to astrology, and then there are also the angels. But something that I'm finding people are drawn to a lot at the moment are the dragons. So this is the royal blue dragon. And so I feel this is very important at the moment. I'm going to show you how you use it. Actually, you just sort of spray it like that in your hand, rub your hands together, breathe it in, and then you can project it out to the people that you're speaking to. So the dragon energy is, it's about breathing fire. So, you know, it's about expressing yourself more than may feel comfortable. You know, it's perhaps saying a little more or choosing the right moment to say things. The tail is about your connection to the earth. And then we also talk about dragon lines or ley lines. And then the dragon also is in its cave. So there's almost like knowing when to retreat. And, you know, many of us, I know, enjoy time on our own, actually. This retreat can be quite kind of rejuvenating for us. But also the dragon guards its treasure. And I think that is just so important now in terms of really honoring our gifts, but also honoring our, in a way, our humanity and, you know, what's most important to us as well. It's like protect our treasure. You know, we talk about boundaries almost as if one shouldn't have boundaries, but, you know, sometimes we do need boundaries, you know, in terms of whatever it might be, you know, our homes, our body, our territory, all of those. So I feel the dragon energy is very important at the moment.
Yeah, so exciting. So tell me a little bit more about what is in this bottle. So is it like alcohol and the oils and
there is some alcohol? Yes. So the
how do you put the astrology in there?
Yes. Well, first of all, each bottle has quite a kind of unique blend of oils, and the blend isn't revealed to people. So we don't know exactly which oils are in which bottle, but they do have a smell, you know, and some of them have a stronger smell than others as well. But so yes, that, you know, that there are numerological connections to the planets that really make perfect sense. Like number 1 would be the sun, number 2 would be the moon, and the colors reflect all of that. And they all make a lot of sense. I mean, I can show you. This is the Mars bottle, number 9, which is very red. The one bottle that has never quite made sense to me is Jupiter, because it's coral and it's so soft and so subtle. But somebody said something. I read a post actually by somebody yesterday where she talked about Jupiter having moons. And so Jupiter actually has a much more feminine energy than we've realized. And so that, I feel, is interesting and kind of makes sense of why Jupiter would be coral like this as well. So, and where I am at the moment, actually, I'm looking onto Monte Jovi. So I'm in Italy at the moment. I share my time between the UK and Italy. But the apartment here has a view onto this place, which is called Jupiter's Mountain, which I love. I love the fact that that's what you can see. There's something I want to show you, actually, is there is a bottle in the system that's actually called Heaven to Earth. And I know that that's part of our, if you like, our kind of red thread for our discussion today. But I haven't actually got it. I must have bathed in it or used it in some way. But I can show you these 2 bottles because it's red and lilac. So it's like a combination of these 2 with the lilac on top. And it's bottle number 12. And it's called Heaven to Earth. And actually, the words are always very interesting for these bottles. So that it connects, the words connect this to the hangman in the tarot. So this also comes in. But this is like, now the colors are the right way up because we have the violet in the crown and the red in the base. But because it's in a way, the more 3rd dimensional colors for the chakras, there can be some sense of betrayal when somebody picks this bottle as well. And so in a way, collectively, we're all moving through this over these years, is moving through this sense of betrayal. And then how do we do that while being in our power? And so that's one of the things we have to really, you know, consider. And I feel one of the things is about almost like turning it around. And I know it isn't perfect, but in a way, almost imagining that it is perfect. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's always suffering and challenge, but you can, anything that happens, you can turn it around and look at the positive. So just as an example, okay, you can't eat indoors in a restaurant. Well, maybe it's quite nice eating outdoors. You know, I actually prefer eating outdoors. You know, it's like you just go and eat on a sunny day. And so I think that's really important. And you touched on this earlier, Lilja, when you talked about how, you know, it's really important for us to be positive. So yes, it's not kind of dwelling on things. And it's like, how do we move forward from here? And we have all the tools and all the skills, and it's about putting it into practice, isn't it?
Yes, I wanted to add to that because, you know, being in Italy, where the restrictions lately have been extreme. Do you hear? What's going on with my sound?
It's still a little bit, yeah.
Shall I start again?
Okay.
Don't. Is it okay now?
No. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, okay. No, in Italy, where the restrictions are or have been, now things are opening up, but people have been, let's say, pushed to look at things in a different way. Like you say, we can't eat inside. Okay, then we create something else.
Mm-hmm.
And this has been bringing people to think, or let's say go back. How did we used to do things, and how can we be independent and not dependent on those who are putting restrictions on us? And this has created actually so many beautiful new connections, new relations, more connection to nature, activity outside. We went to Perugia, I think it was in February, and we did a aperitivo outside in the square, and everybody brought their own wine and snack. And we met new beautiful people we would never have met unless we had been there. Just everybody was sharing and connecting, changing addresses, and also, like I say, going back to nature. People are talking about now food shortages coming up, and you know, all these fear porn. Then Lilja goes and grows her own vegetables, and you know, we move closer to what is closer to our heart, to ourselves in this way. So like you say, the restrictions, let's say, are if we just kept going, you know, like always in this wheel, things wouldn't change, and we would run into a wall eventually, which is actually what's happening now. And I am so grateful for this time. I really am. And it will bring us back to ourselves, to our discernment, to our intuition, to deeper connections, not only digital writing on Facebook, you know, but real connections, and communities forming now, small communities being sovereign and independent, and so on. This is what I'm seeing everywhere, and I really, really love seeing that happening. What about you guys?
Yeah, exactly. And just before I talk about that, I just want to say that when you brought up the Jupiter bottle, I thought it was so the right color.
Interesting.
Wow, yes, this is Jupiter. But anyway, yeah, that's so interesting about these colors. Of course, like you say, Solrun, you know it is something that was needed. For me, it was very, very hard to look at it. But I And because I see the craziness in the world, of course, I should also tell myself, yeah, there was something, there was something, I don't need to say horrible, but something really hard that had to happen, like because it is a reflection of the craziness. This is how the craziness is. So this is the response. Like this is how it needs to move, to turn, to shift. Yeah. So I guess we needed it.
Yes, but
And
also what has been lying underneath, under the surface, also is revealing itself. Something that also, if you think about the heaven and the earth, the lilac and the root chakra, now we are bringing heaven back on earth and how to say that, in the heart, with the discernment, and coming back home. And but everything needs to come up into the light, like you were talking about in the astrology. We need to go and look at this programming and face ourselves and look at what sort of maybe push aside, but now there is no mercy. We need to face ourselves, and this is the only way we can bring a new energy and new earth into or manifest, let's say, using that word. But you know what I mean. So, and empowering ourselves with your tools is amazing.
Yeah, I think we are still, I don't know about you, Amanda, how your work is going, maybe, but for me, it has been really difficult to get people to respond. It's like people are still in this, yeah, the lockdown feeling. I don't know what it's called. Yeah.
I think what's been happening for me is I've been working online a lot, and it's actually been working well. And I've been surprised with a consultation. I almost prefer it, which is amazing. I would never think, imagine that that's what I would feel. But I think it's because you're face to face with someone, you're kind of connecting with their energy more directly somehow. And so from that point of view, it works really well. What else to say? I do feel that my work has really shifted though. And in fact, I'm working much more with the feminine energy. So I've been doing an online training working with the asteroids in astrology and the goddesses. And so looking at the goddesses and exploring those, and then looking at them in people's birth charts as well. And that feels really important because, and it's something to do with the masculine and the feminine energy, and bringing that into balance so that we have a more healthy relationship. And it's not always that it's the masculine dominating the female. It can even be, the other way around. It can be almost like a controlling feminine energy. I feel this quite strongly in Italy, actually, that can almost dominate the male energy as well. So yes, these asteroids, when we connect with them, it helps us, it brings new consciousness to how it is we relate to people, and also to our gifts and what it is that we really need as well, and how to live the energy on a higher level. So it's like how to shift up a gear. It's all about the evolution of consciousness, really. And it was interesting going back to what you were saying, Solran, when you were talking about the heaven to earth. The word corona is crown, isn't it? And it's so interesting as well, because this bottle, which I showed you as the sort of crown representation in heaven on earth, is Saturn, number 8. And so it's like asking us to bring back our authority, you know, to claim our divine authority. You know, we can make our direct connection as well, you know, through our crown up to our higher self and source. Everybody can do that. That's what's being asked of us, rather than asking someone else for permission for things. It's about making that direct connection.
Yes, absolutely. But the thing is that I think what Lilja is talking about a little bit is this resistance to change. And when we do dare to push our comfort zone and really face ourselves, we will be amazed how much different our life is gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
But it is just taking the step, the first step. It can be difficult, and also for some, you know, to admit I was wrong, or my perspective was wrong, and my programming is not serving me, but still I'm stubborn, holding tight to it. It is just also to look at it and say, okay, I was wrong. I'll just do another go with another kind of mindset. I think this is also what, when you were sort of experiencing, Lilja, in your work, that suddenly things sort of changed. But also people have been challenged in many ways these past 2 years. So many things have been thrown at them at once, and I think there's a lot of confusion by many at the moment. So yeah, but there was something else I wanted to ask you now that's gone.
Something I do feel is important astrologically is Pluto, and you see Pluto is in the last few degrees of Capricorn. It's the last couple of degrees even, and it moves in more fully next year in 2023. So if you look at Pluto moving through Capricorn, it's a bit like you know, a trawler. You know, it's very deep, very profound, you know, going into these patriarchal energies, this traditional way of looking at things. It's like, this is how we've always done it. You know, it's patterns really. And so it's like uncovering our patterns. It's like excavating. And so I think once it moves out of Capricorn next year, 2023, then we'll have the new, you know, the real sense of, okay, now we're moving, you know, this is the big shift when Pluto moves into Aquarius. But this eclipse phase right now feels very significant. It's very cleansing, you know, it feels important to kind of cleanse and release and let go.
Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to add to that because you know, when I speak to beautiful powerhouse like you two with such important work, both, you know, the oils and the astrology and the color mirrors, I always start, you know, creating, let's do a seminar, let's do with, you know, high vibe frequency seminar with all of these things. You know, I will teach the breathing, and because it fits so perfectly into all of this, how we use, and simple ways, go back to breathing and back to expressing what we were talking about before. It's so important, and yeah, so exciting.
Absolutely. Let's do it, Sovereign.
Yes, come to Italy and let's do it. Yeah.
Or in Iceland.
Or in Iceland. Yeah. And I also wanted to just address a little bit about the masculine and the feminine, because I'm also very much focused on that. And it is this structure and flow that needs to be in balance but it takes a while. I threw all my lists out of the window when I moved here, and I don't have a list anymore. I don't write lists anymore, and I was doing it all the time for years, and it is still, there needs to be some kind of structure and organization, but in the flow. And it's the same with the singing. It has, and the breathing and the toning, it has to be in this structure and flow. And I think I'll say this, but we have emasculated our men. We know, I mean, the masculine energy and the feminine energy both are totally out of balance. So it's not, the feminine, of course, the feminine energy needs to flow into the earth and everything. But we have also emasculated the men, so they are lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it has to move into balance, and I think that's gonna happen. I'm sure of it.
Yes, because you see, men have the asteroid goddesses in their chart too, and so it can be helpful for them to understand more about what these represent and what gifts these bring, and maybe how these connect to Venus, the planet of relationships, in their chart. And
yes, exactly. Okay, ladies, this has been amazing.
Yeah.
So where can people find you, Amanda?
Okay, so I have a website, and it's just amandabradbury.com. So, and my email address is amanda@amandabradbury.com.
Okay, great. I'll put it below. Is there anything you are offering right now you would like to tell about?
Yes, there's something I'm starting. It's very imminent though. I'm just offering 2 sessions. It's called Astrology Made Simple, and it's 2 2-hour sessions. And the first one is going to be on the houses, and the second one is going to be on the aspects, the relationships the planets make to each other. And it's online. It's a really excellent price. And the reason is partly because it's quite short notice, but also I'm doing it as a lead-in to another course which I'm running, which is on transits. And that starts just after the summer solstice on the 23rd of June. Again, online, 2 sessions a month, looking at a different planet each session. And then we're going to explore the nature of the planet and how it will feel when it aspects your chart, and the sorts of things that may be coming up, and people in the group will share. And so I'm really looking forward to that. And it's like a kind of deepening of what I'm offering in terms of astrology.
Wow. Maybe we can do a seminar online.
Well, no, this is online. This is online.
Yes.
So, yes.
Speaking,
yeah.
combine.
Oh, I see what you mean, putting everything together. Yes. Why not?
Yes.
And then in the autumn, actually, in September, I'm wanting to offer another practitioner training in the color mirrors as well, which is quite an extensive training. Which will be pretty much all online, but it would be wonderful to have some in-person part of the course as well, component to the course, depending perhaps on where people are.
Wow. Oh, sounds amazing. I want to participate in all of it.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yes. What about you, Lilja? Where can people find you?
Yeah, they can find me on Facebook. Unfortunately, this is the place. I have a website. It's Lilja Dara, DHARA.com. Tara. Lilja Tara. And I also have an email, lilja@liljadara.com. I'm offering classes, beginners classes in Reykjavik about the oils, and all kind of classes in I haven't been offering them online, but I'm doing like a practitioner training in raindrop technique. It's a technique with the oils on the spine and on the feet. A really powerful, powerful treatment technique.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That
Wonderful.
sounds intriguing. That
Yes.
sounds so interesting.
Yeah, but you would have to come here, or I would have to do one in Italy. Actually,
Yes.
do like a weekend raindrop training courses. It's basically just a 10-hour like course for those that are not being a practitioners. You can learn it for yourself, for you and your family.
Wow. Online, do you have anything online that you offer also in English, for example, for an international?
But I haven't really on a like a regular basis, but I do it if people call me.
Yes. Okay. You have also a newsletter that people can sign up, or is it only in Icelandic then?
I actually have one in English also. Yeah.
Okay.
It's mostly for
Mhm.
my team, but I'm actually working on now to starting like a newsletter or like a email list offer to gather people on emails.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, the Young Living has all kinds of products, even what is it called?
600
Vita
like cosmetics.
products.
Yeah.
Yeah, cosmetic and also cleansing products and vitamins and drink supplements.
that are really extraordinary good. Yeah, the basic vitamins and stuff.
Yes, yes, wonderful. Okay, guys, anything you would like to say to empower the listeners for the future?
I feel just to discern, but to be aware of where you place your energy, because where you place your energy, it grows. And just to know that, you know, we have the tools, we have what it takes. This is all meant to be. It, you know, at that level, it's perfect. And I'd just like to say it's lovely to meet Lilja as well. And thank you so much, Soren, for hosting us and arranging this.
Yes. Yeah, thank you. And so nice to meet you also, Amanda. And I'm very curious about many things you said. And what I want to say in the end is there's probably a really nice quote that I don't remember about the life inside the comfort zone is not alive. You better find a way to step out of the comfort zone if you want to grow. Like this is because we didn't really get into empowerment, but I think that and working with the job that I had, this has been giving me so many opportunities because it's not the traditional. I've never really done the traditional things, and they are sometimes not easy to. But it's given me the opportunity to step out of the comfort zone all the time, and I'm really happy about that.
Would you like to say something more about the empowerment, Lilja?
No, not really.
No, okay.
No, it would be a long talk, so no.
But definitely the oils are supporting your empowerment in so many ways.
Yeah, you can read about it, like my story, like how I used the oils to empower myself and find self-confidence and bring myself into balance.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Time really flies. We'll have to do this again.
Thank you, both of you.
Yes, we'll do it again.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.